I asked Larry yesterday about the 3 times you guys went under center in the first half.
Yes.
And you got first downs all 3 times. And I know in the past he's kind of said it's kind of not who we are. Nathan said after the game that you guys have been working on that a little bit more lately. Is that because of Nathan, or is it something else that you guys have seen that you decided to maybe go a little bit more?
Well, we've actually been doing some under center snaps starting in spring through fall camp and the season more than we have. Not a ton, but we've kind of made it a point every practice to try to get a couple snaps under center. You know, we do under center CQ exchange every day, but the actual run plays. So it was something that we decided in the offseason we wanted to do. So if we are under center, it's not the only time we're under center, it's just to run a sneak. So we can do some other things out of it, keep people honest, and that's kind of where it goes.
When you're under center, does the blocking assignments change? I know you guys do a lot of zone blocking, but does it become more traditional blocking up front, sort of?
It's still about the play you're running, you know, whether you're running zone, power, you know, it's still about the play. So it doesn't change anything for schematically. Now there's only certain things you can run from under center that you might not in gun. And for the center, as a center, it's easier to be able to snap it when they're under center, come off the ball, you know, than gun a lot of times. But of course, for our guys, since they do gun all the time, then it's change up for under center, and you know, you're always concerned about that exchange.
A little bit of a technical question. For center, do they come off a little bit lower when they snap directly than
it's yeah, you can put a little more weight forward, you can be a little lower, you can come off a little more. You know, it's definitely easier when it's under center for those guys that come off the ball lower, yes.
How did you evaluate the offense's performance against Syracuse?
Well, great opening drive. Then we fell asleep, you know, for the rest of the first half. We just, you know, we had some plays, but we didn't do anything consistently well. And I thought at halftime, Syracuse did some things in that half that they hadn't done previously. So we had to make a few adjustments at halftime, and I thought the kids did a great job of listening to what we were going to do to mix it up. And they responded physically. We came out, and I thought we were much better in the second half than we were in the first half.
One of the guys who Coach Fedora specifically praised yesterday was Jake Vargas. Who's kind of, what have you seen from him?
He's had some great games. His effort's been off the charts, physical, doing all the little things. You know, he's not catching balls, he's not pouting. He really, you know, that's what you're looking for. And he's responded, and it's just really about his effort and physicality. He's done a great job.
Daz Newsome's play has kind of, now with the punt return touchdown, has shown a lot like Switzer's. What have you seen? Is that kind of been part of like the game plan to use him that way, or is that just kind of who he is?
Yeah, well, it's who he is, and we got to try to keep finding ways to get him the ball, because the one thing that you watch the film from him last year and this year, he doesn't get tackled one-on-one very often. And, you know, it's really uncanny how good he is at it. Just making one guy miss or more. You very rarely see him get tackled by the first guy. So you want to get a guy like that, you obviously get the ball in his hands and let him do something.
With the punt return touchdown, was that just kind of the holes were there and he took advantage of it, or is it something different with maybe the blocking unit?
Well, I'm not on the punt return unit, but I got to watch it as a team the next day, and there were some great efforts blocking, and of course he did a tremendous job of finding those blocks and setting people up and then doing the rest.
That cutback. Their lanes broke up. Cut back, we saw that.
Yep.
The blocking down the field, you guys have had a lot of those plays this year.
Yep.
It's hard to see when you watch the tape on TV what the blocking down the field is like. Is it better this year? And is Jake one of the guys that's kind of playing a role in that?
Well, Jake's usually more at the point of attack, but I will say this, our receivers have done an unbelievable job of blocking downfield, and like we mentioned this earlier in the year, it's something that's not talked about very often. But a lot of times it's the difference between a 7-8 yard run and a big one. And you'll notice on some of our runs, we talked about Diami against VT where he took the guy out of bounds, we had the big run. You'll see on the touchdown Antonio had in the second half, Ants blocking his guy through the end zone. Those things are huge, and our guys are really they're doing a nice job being physical and blocking downfield.
Back to Dez, those 2 plays, he had the 55-yard and then the touchdown. It looked like a jet sweep, but it was a flip. The jet sweep that you guys used to run in Switzer was more like a handoff. What is it? Is this called something different, or because it was about a half-yard flip? The ball was actually in the air.
Well, a lot of the stuff we gave to Switch actually was flips. The one that was a little bit different was the one where we were under center and we handed it off. That's something we hadn't done before. But, you know, it's It's what we do. We flip it typically as opposed to hand it off, because if it's dropped, it's an incomplete instead of a fumble, and that's kind of
So that's the jet sweep.
right. So that's considered more of a pass than a run, technically.
Yeah, sometimes like I know Pittsburgh, a lot of the jet sweeps are considered running tags.
If you hand it, it's a run. If you flip it, it's a pass. Right, Bobby?
Yeah, I know. But it's just I don't.
I'd like to count it as a run.
It seemed like there was more distance. I'm getting real technical here, but it seemed like there was more distance with the flip with Daz than what I recall before. Maybe you guys just haven't run it very much lately. I just don't remember.
The way we ran it was different than we've ever run it before. I'll say that. So just how we
Lies
did
didn't
it.
deceive me that much.
No, not that much. It was different than what we've done before. Yes.
Cut loose so we can get Nathan here. He's got to get to the radio.
Okay. All right.